My mom said I was not her son, until I became rich. Not my mother's son. In 2025, in a quiet neighborhood on the edge of a busy American city, Marcus learned a truth that broke something deep inside him. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. The house was full. Laughter filled the living room. The smell of fried chicken and macaroni floated in the air. His younger brother, Jamal, was showing off a new smartwatch. His sister, Keisha, talked excitedly about a weekend trip their mother had paid for. Marcus sat quietly on the edge of the couch. He was 32, unemployed, still trying to recover from years of bad luck, bad timing, and broken promises. He had come home to help his mother after she complained of body pain. But no one noticed his effort. "Mom," Jamal said, raising his wrist, "this thing cost a lot." "You sure?" His mother laughed. "Anything for my children." Marcus swallowed hard. He stood up slowly. "Mom, I need to ask you something." She looked at him, irritation flashing across her face. "What now, Marcus?" "You treat them well," he said calmly. "But you treat me like I don't belong here. What did I do wrong?" The room went silent. His mother stood up too. Her voice rose, sharp and unfiltered. "Wrong?" she scoffed. "Look at you. No job. No money. No future. How can you even call yourself my son?" Marcus froze. Before he could speak, she added the words that would haunt him for years. "You're not my son. If you were, you'd be successful like the rest of my children." The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Jamal looked away. Keisha avoided Marcus's eyes. Marcus felt something die inside him. Without another word, he picked up his jacket and walked out. That night, he slept on a bus bench, and made a promise he would never forget. Marcus didn't cry. He had cried enough growing up. He remembered being 12, watching his siblings get new shoes while his soles peeled. Being told, "Manage what you have." Watching his mother clap for Jamal's small achievements while ignoring his own. Back then, he thought patience would earn him love. That night on the bench, he finally understood something painful. Love in that house was rented, and money was the rent. He left the city the next morning. No goodbye. No calls. No borrowed money. He took a bus to another state with only a backpack and the little dignity he had left. He worked construction by day, cleaned offices by night, slept on floors, ate cheap food, saved every dollar. Some nights, exhaustion crushed him, but the memory of his mother's voice kept him standing. "You're not my son." He repeated it in his head, not as a wound anymore, but as fuel. Years passed. Marcus learned skills, took online courses, failed twice, started again, met mentors who saw potential where his family saw shame. By 37, he launched a logistics tech company. Small at first. Then it grew. Contracts came. Recognition followed. Money arrived, not loudly, but steadily. Marcus didn't post online, didn't announce anything. He healed quietly. One evening, he received a call from an unknown number. "Hello," he answered. "Marcus?" The voice trembled. "It's your mother." His chest tightened. "I heard," she said softly, "that you're doing well now." He closed his eyes. "Yes," he replied. "I am." There was a pause. Then she said the sentence that changed everything. "My son, I gave birth to you." Marcus smiled sadly, and said nothing. When Marcus returned home months later, the house looked the same. But the welcome was different. His siblings hugged him. His mother cried loudly, holding his hands. "I always believed in you," she said. Marcus gently pulled away. "No," he replied calmly. "You believed in money." The room fell quiet. "I wasn't your son when I had nothing," he continued. "So don't call me one now that I have everything." Tears streamed down her face. "I was wrong," she whispered. Marcus nodded. I forgive you. Then he added, softly but firmly, but forgiveness doesn't rewrite history. Marcus didn't cut his family off. But he changed the rules. He built scholarships. Supported young people who were overlooked, like he once was. He learned something powerful. Blood may make you related, but character makes you family. And for the first time in his life, Marcus belonged, not because he was rich, but because he chose himself. Marcus stayed in town longer than he planned. Not because he missed the house, but because he needed closure. The same living room still held the old couch, the framed family photos, the shelf where his mother kept documents she treated like treasure. But something had shifted. The air no longer carried authority. It carried fear. His mother watched him carefully now. Every word she spoke was soft, careful, calculated. Marcus, she said one evening, placing food in front of him, eat more. You look thinner than on TV. He smiled politely but didn't touch the plate. Jamal noticed. Mom never begged anyone to eat before, Jamal muttered. His mother shot him a warning look. Marcus finally spoke. You don't have to impress me. She froze. I'm not. You are, he said calmly. And that's the problem. That night, Marcus asked for all of them to sit down. His siblings exchanged looks. This wasn't normal. Growing up, she called meetings, not him. I need to say something, Marcus began. Not to hurt anyone, but to be honest. His mother clasped her hands tightly. I spent my whole life trying to earn space here, he continued. Not love, just space. And I didn't get it until money spoke for me. Keisha swallowed hard. I watched you reward loyalty to success, Marcus said, turning to his mother. And punish struggle. Her lips trembled. And now, he added, I see fear where pride used to be. She broke down. I didn't know better, she cried. I grew up believing poor children brought shame. Marcus nodded slowly. And rich children brought comfort. Silence filled the room. For years, he said, favoritism worked for you. Until the one you rejected became the one you needed. That truth landed heavy. 2 weeks later, the call came at 2:14 a.m. Marcus answered immediately. Marcus, Jamal's voice shook. Mom collapsed. We're at the hospital. He was on the next flight. In the hospital room, machines beeped steadily. His mother lay weak, her once commanding presence reduced to fragile breaths. When she saw Marcus, her eyes filled with tears. You came, she whispered. Yes, he said. Not because I owe you, but because I choose compassion. She squeezed his hand weakly. I failed you, she said. I called you not my son, because you were poor. Marcus felt the old pain rise, but it no longer controlled him. You didn't just fail me, he said gently. You taught me something. She looked at him, confused. You taught me never to tie worth to wealth. Tears rolled down her cheeks. If I survive, she whispered, I will tell the truth. She survived. Weeks later, the family gathered again, this time not for celebration, but for reckoning. His mother insisted on speaking. I lied to myself for years, she began. I treated Marcus like an outsider because he struggled. I mistook success for character. She turned to Marcus. You were always my son, she said, voice breaking. I just didn't act like your mother. No one spoke. Marcus stood up. This isn't about apology, he said. It's about accountability. He looked at his siblings. I don't want revenge. I want change. Then he faced his mother. I forgive you, he said. But I won't pretend the past didn't shape me. She nodded, accepting it fully this time. Marcus left town again, but differently. This time, he didn't leave wounded. He left whole. He reduced contact. No guilt. No anger. Just boundaries. He funded education for underprivileged kids. Especially the quiet ones. The overlooked ones. The ones families gave up on too early. One interviewer asked him, "What motivates you?" Marcus smiled. "I was once told I wasn't a son because I had no money," he said. "Now I help children learn they are enough, even before success." Years later, Marcus stood on a stage, watching scholarship recipients applaud. He thought of the boy who slept on a bench, the man who worked 2 jobs, the son who wasn't chosen until he became rich. He whispered to himself, "I didn't become rich to be loved. I became whole so I could love myself." And that was the real inheritance. Life changed after Marcus left again. Not immediately, but slowly, quietly. The protection Jamal and Keisha had always enjoyed began to fade. Jamal's business idea, funded mostly by favors and borrowed money, collapsed within a year. Clients disappeared. Bills stacked up. For the first time, he heard the word no without Marcus being there to soften the fall. Keisha's lifestyle followed soon after. The trips stopped. The shopping slowed. The friends who came around for convenience stopped calling. And their mother. She watched helplessly. She wanted to step in like before, but she couldn't. Because the one child who always rescued the family was the one she once rejected. One evening, Jamal slammed a pile of unpaid bills on the table. "This never used to happen," he snapped. Keisha fired back. "Because Marcus always fixed things." Their mother flinched at his name. She remembered how easily she dismissed him when he needed help. Now help was needed everywhere. And Marcus was gone. 4 months, no one called Marcus. Pride still lived in the house. Until the night the power went out. Candles flickered. The silence felt heavy. Their mother broke first. "Call your brother," she said quietly. Jamal hesitated. "What do I even say?" She closed her eyes. "Say the truth." The phone rang 3 times before Marcus answered. "Hello." Jamal swallowed. "It's me." Marcus listened. Didn't rush. Didn't interrupt. "We need help," Jamal finally said. "But more than money, we need you." There was a long pause. Marcus spoke carefully. "I can help, but not the way I used to." "What do you mean?" "No rescuing," Marcus said. "No entitlement. Only responsibility." Jamal nodded, even though Marcus couldn't see it. "That's fair," he whispered. Marcus didn't send money. He sent structure. He connected Jamal with a financial mentor, but Jamal had to attend every session himself. He helped Keisha find work, but she had to start small. He supported his mother's medical needs, but set clear limits. "This is not payment for love," Marcus said firmly. "This is support for growth." His mother cried quietly on the phone. "I finally understand," she said. "You weren't weak. You were patient," Marcus replied gently, "and patience shouldn't be punished." Late one night, Marcus's mother sat alone with old photo albums. She stopped at a picture of Marcus as a child, thin, smiling, hopeful. She remembered ignoring his school events. Remembered praising his siblings loudly while correcting him quietly. Remembered the words she wished she could erase. "You are not my son." Her chest tightened. For the first time, she said it out loud, to no one. "I was cruel." No excuses followed, just truth. Months passed. Jamal learned discipline. Keisha learned humility. Slowly, painfully, but genuinely. One evening, they visited Marcus. Not to ask, just to sit. Their mother looked around his modest but peaceful home. "You could have abandoned us," she said. Marcus smiled softly. "I abandoned the pain, not the people." She nodded. That night, she hugged him, not desperately, not possessively, respectfully. And Marcus allowed it. Marcus stood alone later, looking out the window. He thought of how close he came to disappearing emotionally, spiritually, how rejection almost turned him cold. But instead, it shaped him. He learned that wealth reveals character, but hardship builds it. And love that waits for success was never love to begin with. The truth never stays hidden forever. In 2025, Marcus was invited to speak at a community leadership forum, one of those quiet but powerful gatherings where stories mattered more than titles. He stood at the podium dressed simply. No designer suit. No loud symbols of wealth. Just him. "I grew up believing love had conditions," he said. "That success qualified you for respect." The room was silent. "I was told I wasn't a son because I didn't have money." A few gasps escaped the audience. His mother sat in the third row. She hadn't known he would say that. Her hands trembled in her lap. Marcus continued, "But the truth is, poverty doesn't erase identity. And wealth doesn't create it." Applause followed, slow at first, then strong. His mother felt every clap like a mirror. For years, she had shaped her children's worth in public praise and private neglect. Now the community was hearing what she once refused to admit. After the event, whispers spread. Not gossip, reflection. The story continues. Watch out for the next chapter as Marcus and his mother face the hardest journey yet, learning how to survive the past and truly settle the wounds between them. Will forgiveness be enough? Or will the scars speak louder than love? Kindly subscribe to African Tales by Mira for more powerful stories. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss a chapter.